I'm Matt with the etrailer, and today we're talking about the Titan chains with V-bar links on our 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 2500. And we're going to have this on our tire size today, 275, 65 R20, and we're going to have this on our rear axle. So let's check it out. These are going to be a great set of chains if you're going through any more heavier duty conditions, whether that be some deep snow and ice or mud. And what's going to give it that ability to get through those situations are going to be these twist links we have here with the assistance of these V-bars up top. Those twist links in general will get you through those more moderate snow and ice conditions, but with the V-bars on top, that's going to give you that extra bite to get through that deep snow and ice. They're also going to be made from a durable low carbon steel. So that durable low carbon steel, while in some cases isn't as strong as some of our nickel alloys, this will still get the job done and hold up for a long time. And we're going to have this ladder pattern, and that ladder pattern allows us more traction when we're stopping and starting. In the center, not much is going on except for at the bottom. So if we look at the bottom, we're going to see we have this lever that goes through this link and connects to this other one. And what this is doing is giving us more tension so this chain sits pretty snug on our tire today. These chains are going to come in a set of 2, and they're going to come in this pretty light duty bag. So what I would recommend actually is investing in a small tote, because this, like I said, is a pretty light duty bag, and these are some pretty heavy duty chains, especially with those V-bars. Those V-bars will probably shred through this in no time. I'd probably give it maybe 3 or 4 uses before this really does start taking on some damage. So that small tote is going to help alleviate a lot of that. Now, overall, I think this is going to be a great set of chains for you if you really are driving through those extreme conditions. And this is approved for on-road and off-road uses, but I would suggest mainly trying to stick with off-road uses unless the conditions you are driving through on road are very extreme, because this could cause some serious damage. If you're not going through that extreme of conditions on road, I suggest kind of sticking with more of our square link design chains. But if you are using these two, since they don't have any cams either, I do suggest investing in a small rubber tensioner to throw on here to help alleviate some of that slack and pull it nice and tight. But if you're curious to see what the process of getting these on, just stay tuned and we'll show you the process. To begin our installation, I recommend grabbing some gloves to make this a lot easier. And if you're doing this for the first time, I recommend staying at home so you can put this on, because it's going to be a lot more difficult if you're out on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard trying to get these chains on. But what we're looking for is to see if there's any damages to our links and to make sure nothing's twisted up. We also want to make sure this is in the right orientation. So you'll notice we have these hooks. We want those to be facing up so they're away from our tire. And we're going to have a lever on the other side. We want to make sure this is closest to us and furthest away from the tire. Once we've established that, we're going to grab our chains from the center, lift up on them, and drape them over the tire. What I like to do at this stage is actually lift up over here to make sure it doesn't drag across that rim. And what I'm doing is just making sure everything's sitting on here pretty even, nothing's hanging down too low, making contact with that rim. And everything's going to be pretty easy to grab from the front and back. Speaking of the back, when we come back here, we're going to make a connection with this metal hook. And with one of these links hanging off to the side, like that. And what we're looking for is not to make this too tight. We definitely want to make it pretty tight. But we want this to be even on the front and back. So you might have to do this a couple times. Make sure you get a good, snug, even fit. The front's going to be a little bit different. Instead of putting a metal hook through, we're going to put this lever through and apply tension until this sits flat. And once it's sitting like this, we're going to take this extra link that's sticking out the side and push it through that gap. That's going to hold that lever down. At this point, what I recommend is grabbing a rubber tensioner. If you don't have one, you can find one on our website, and putting it on your chains. And what this is going to do is relieve a lot of that slack that is in your chains, making this a lot more of a tight fit. I also recommend putting this on in a star pattern. And when you place your links in place, you want to make sure that this metal hook is facing away from your tire so it doesn't puncture it. Then we'll just repeat all of that on the other tire. And when you have done that, you can either drive forward or back up some just to check to make sure your chains are sitting on there pretty well. And if they are, then you can hit the road. But that was just a look at some of the features and the installation of the Titan chains with V-bars on our 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 2500. Thanks for watching.